Hope you're not planning to waste my time.
Hello everyone! Welcome to our channel. This is Hamza.
Alright, and that's Aruj. Alright, so today I guess we'll just kind of go with the flow and
We're going with the flow.
yeah, we'll just see what happens.
Yep.
Weird thing about this is that, right, you have to turn it on.
What?
Right? The recording.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on.
Right.
It's not like we think even when we watch movies, right? I think that's why it's so hard to be an actor.
Okay.
Because you have to turn the acting on at
It's like turning the game face on.
Yeah.
You know?
How do you do that? Right? Especially when
How do you do that?
you're just a small time YouTuber.
You know how you do that? Let me
Right.
tell you. How you do that is when you are actually going in front of the camera, you have to basically stop thinking about what other people are thinking about you. Because if you're thinking, okay, like, I'm going to have to speak this or talk about this, and then you're like, going through the whole thing in your brain, but then you're also thinking, oh my God, somebody else is looking at me. What do they think that my nose hair is showing? Or, like anything. Like you have to basically turn off all the other voices and thoughts, negative or positive, and basically just focus on being in a small box and just talking.
It's hard.
It's
right?
hard. It's really hard. Like
Yeah.
I had a photo shoot with a jewelry designer or whatever, and we did it outside. It was super cold, and it was really, really cold. But we were shivering, all of us. And the minute they would say, because the cameraman's only there for an hour or two, so we were short amount of time. And the minute he would just be like, "Okay, you ready?" You stop shivering. So you basically train your brain. Not train your brain, but you just tell your body, brain is the strongest muscle, right?
Yeah.
You just would tell, because you were cold, you were still you were oh, I'm shivering, I can't stop. But the minute the guy said, go on, and we're like, so I guess,
yeah.
Stop thinking at the moment, maybe.
Man, that's hard though. No, thinking is it's...
Thinking is the problem.
It's not a problem unless you make it one,
mm-hmm.
But we have been trained, right, to constantly think.
Yeah. About things, about... what's going on in the world. You're oh, what do we talk about? You know what I'm saying? You have to think about all of that. But I feel if you have to, put your thoughts somewhere. But I guess
that's
thinking too much is not good.
So
we are told from the beginning.
Yeah.
Think about it.
If you think about it, 10,000 years ago, if you were a hunter or a gatherer, right, you weren't thinking, right? You were just I'm hungry, I gotta eat, it's cold, I need to sleep.
Seriously.
And 4,000 years ago, if you were a farmer in ancient Egypt, you
wish I was a farmer.
It was just clear cut. I have no food, time to plant. This is when, the Nile floods, blah, blah, blah.
They didn't have clocks, dude.
No, they didn't.
Such a simple life. Would you want to go back?
Yeah.
If you were given, he would. I'm telling you, he would. If
the
you were given
innovations, right? So the innovations that we've seen in the past century,
mm-hmm.
I really feel that we're going to face the dark side of it. And we already are, of those innovations, because we're still the same human beings,
mm-hmm.
right? Surrounded by new gadgets, new toys.
Things. But
there's
always a but. But don't you think those innovations have helped you throughout the life? Make easy, that conversation goes a long way.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. Yeah. They've made things a bit complicated,
They've made them complicated because I know that we've abused them.
Yeah.
Because obviously we wouldn't be able to do this, right?
Sure, yeah. We wouldn't be able to talk to you guys and share our thoughts. But no, I get it. I get what you're saying. But I think on the other side, people will argue that if there were no emissions, you wouldn't be connected.
Yeah.
Who would have thought we would have been calling on FaceTime so much, so far away, and seeing our loved ones? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get it, but using anything is wrong. So I think this generation is actually, getting there to the dark side.
Well, it's we're really going to have to, I guess, navigate through all of this.
And as a parent, it's hard to kill that time.
Yeah.
And you have to face your challenges, but then at the same time, you're my kid's learning a lot.
Yeah.
On the same iPad, which you want to put away.
That's the thing, right?
Because in schools, they use iPads.
Yeah.
You know, like everything in school is going all like, they're very technology pro, like homework's on iPads or listening books is like online. You go on a link and you find the book and you read it, or you hear the audio, whatever. So I think it's hard, but to deal with it. What are you thinking at the moment?
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. What is Juneteenth? I don't even know what Juneteenth is.
Yes.
But you guys were like talking about Juneteenth, you know, and like I was like, I really had no idea what you guys were talking about.
Okay.
Seriously, so if you have any information on it, I'm open.
So man, I'm ignorant myself about this, but I know that.
Do you have any?
So
background?
that was the official end of slavery.
Okay.
Right, where it was state. You know, like it was state sanctioned, right? That was the end of it, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it was delivered to slaves on a plantation in Texas or something. Oh. And that's it.
They were done.
That's the end date of,
that's why it's a celebration.
Of slavery, right? Like the
so yeah, everyone should celebrate it, no? It should be celebrated.
I think it should.
Slavery
right?
wasn't good, yeah. That's a really good thing.
Man, a lot of times, because when I was, growing up here in the U.S., we were given a certain, a different flavor of U.S. history. So when the settlers came, right, they were seeking, I guess, safe haven from like religious persecution, right? That's why the Puritans came here, right, in New England. They were like the first immigrants, right?
Okay.
They were the first immigrants from England to New England.
Right. Okay. That's so interesting though.
Yeah, but we don't talk about like, they weren't, they were settling here, but they also believed that the diseases and the killing of Native Americans was sanctioned by God because he was clearing the path of these infidels, of these non-believers, so that the believers could come and settle on this new land, this new promised land.
So they're just clearing everybody out.
That's
so in simple words, let me explain you guys. In simple words, they were just coming and they're like, we're too good for this place. Let's clean it up first, and then we will settle here. Thank you.
So yeah, that's so we don't actually learn about that. So when people are saying like Juneteenth, and there are people that say we shouldn't learn about Juneteenth, right? Or it's this, I guess it's a lot of people in the South, right? Not even in the South, I don't, but I'm sure a lot of people that want to hold on to the mindset that white America is the majority. And it is, right? It still is. And I think it will be for the foreseeable future.
Okay. I get that.
Yeah.
But just the day that slavery ended, that should be celebrated.
Yeah, it should.
For those who actually believe that it's not a good, I get the white America thing, but like they're still going to be in majority. So, to teach your kids further, they should celebrate, I guess, to get the idea across that this is not a good.
Yeah, but what do you celebrate, right? As I guess, is somebody that lives in Arkansas, right? What do you celebrate if you are an Anglo-Saxon American, right? Whose forebears either fought to establish, this confederacy, like this rebel nation, right? Or you had great-great-grandparents that were slave owners. Like, what do you celebrate without looking at yourself and saying,
mindset, maybe.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Not celebrate, they're not going to celebrate it. But what we should celebrate, or which we should tell our kids to celebrate, or our generations to come, the change of mindset. Because that's really hard. Change mindset.
I think it takes
ages.
I mean, that's a great
generations, right? It's hard to change mindsets. We also come from a kind of mindset.
We do.
What?
We do, yeah, we do.
We do. What? What did you say?
No, we do.
We all do, right?
That's the flavor of human culture, man.
It is. Right?
Like,
everyone has their own, thoughts or whatever. And if you can change somebody's mindset, because not what you think of, morally what's right or wrong,
Yeah.
Because everyone thinks that they're right. You know?
But so here's a good question. What is right and what is wrong?
I think what's right, it doesn't matter if it's me or somebody else, or it's a bigger issue. I think what's right is it's what's morally right. If you're not hurting anybody, if it's at all at fair ground, no one's getting more or less. You know what I'm saying? The settlers came and they wanted their space, but they could have shared the space, They didn't have to kill people, but they had a different idea.
I think
it was more religious. But see, that
yeah.
religion is also sometimes people have their own mindset and what they believe, and they push it on religion, oh yeah, we got a revolution,
yeah.
So it's all about.
It is, but I mean, it's all. This is a very hard thing to talk about.
I'm just saying what my take is on it. You were saying what you're... Yeah, but we'll leave you guys to leave some comments down below. Okay, please, let us know how we're doing, first of all. But second, we want to know, are you relating to this or not?
Maybe, I don't know. But either way, if you have...
Or do you like this? What's going on?
If you had something bad to say,
please
leave it in
tell
the
us.
comments. If you have something good to say, subscribe, so that we can... continue to make
these
little conversations that we're having.
Okay, back to what I'm saying.
I think it's really relative, right? Relative is what's right and what's wrong. It'll differ depending on different people. We think eating human beings. I took a turn.
Human beings.
We think that eating human beings is wrong, but there are tribes in Papua New Guinea, which is north of Australia, that up until very recently would eat their deceased because they thought that they were, infusing themselves with the wisdom of their ancestor that had just, right?
But the wisdom and whatever that is up there.
No, I know, but we're talking.
You can't eat somebody's brain.
No,
I'm getting your wisdom.
So our entire universe of right and wrong is all constructed. It's all created by our minds.
That is so interesting. You took a turn, but you have to finish this. What is?
So there's this. So these tribes, right? So out of all of the the languages that we speak, the diversity, Papua New Guinea is one of the most diverse. Every few miles, there's an entirely different language that people speak. That only maybe 20, 15 people even know the language.
Oh my God.
Right?
It's crazy.
It's insane. It's insane.
Somebody goes there to just check it out. They're going to be following you to eat you?
I mean, yeah. So the place obviously was colonized by first the Germans and then the British and then the Australians. I don't know. It's all.
So, okay, the question is why do they think that eating their deceased will help them?
Well, I mean, it's a different worldview.
Or if it's okay.
It's a different worldview, right? There are cultures, right, that...
And I think even eating chicken's bad.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
That's a heart.
I don't want to dive too deep into this, but...
And yeah, this one, okay. How much meat do you eat, sir?
I do eat meat, yeah. I do eat a lot of meat.
Protein, But you can get protein from tofu. Just saying.
You can, but... All right, God damn it.
I took a turn.
All right, so...
No, I took a turn.
Listen, ethically sourced meat, right, that is good for the environment, but forget the environment for a second, right? Who gives a shit? Just saying, hypothetically, right? Eat what is good for you, right? So the red meat that we eat at Julasco or anywhere else, store, right? Any store is filled with antibiotics, right? These animals live horrible lives. And I'm saying that if you ate an animal that loved its life, right? That went out, ate grass, was intended.
Happy.
Right? Was happy and did the things that they're supposed to do without being forced to eat grain and to eat GMO food, right? I think the product of that animal would translate well into your own body.
Okay.
Right?
So he's actually saying that Papua Guinea, whatever place that was, just like they believe that eating their deceased and whatever life they live, happy with their family and da-da-da, eating them.
I mean, that's not a big leap, actually. Like, if you think about
Similar.
it's very similar.
You think that eating a cow is happy and on a farm is happy, like eating
So what you're saying is that they should do, like, scientific study on the nutritional value
Yes.
of deceased cannibals?
Yes. I mean, no? Isn't it similar?
I mean, yeah, I guess. Oh my
But
God.
yeah, no, I okay.
You see what I'm saying, though, right?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. But yeah, I think that we should. We were talking about moving towards eating organic meat,
Yeah.
and like just how we were, the other day we were talking about how many chemicals are in our daily things. Like salt,
Like, if you look,
seasonings.
man, if you
everything.
look, so if you look at salt, right? And we were talking about this earlier.
Yes.
It's not just going to be salt. It's going to be like 3 other ingredients,
But you don't
like
need.
caking agents
No.
that, dude, just
But you do not
all
need.
you need is salt. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Natural salt.
That's how hard is that?
No, I
Yeah.
get that. That other things you don't need, but that's a whole different conversation. You want some health benefits and salt. Next episode. But yeah,
So,
dude. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So like, all right. So I really like what you said before, that the reason that Juneteenth should be celebrated, even though it has to do with like a very specific ethnic group,
Yeah.
a very like, how is that relatable to like Chinese immigrants that came like in the 80s? Not really, but
Yeah.
I think it's great for like the overall picture because it's a change in mindset. Like it's like, hey, that was wrong in the past and we made a correction.
Right. Like where I'm from, we didn't know anything about slavery or whatever. Like, it didn't affect me personally. But I think if you want to celebrate, if I would tell my kids or like somebody I know, like just to tell them, like, why would you want to celebrate? I'd be like, maybe because it's a better change. It's like a change in mindset, right?
It's
like,
a change in mindset. Yeah, it's a great change in mindset.
So I would just take that from it and just be happy for a day, But yeah, that if you want to take anything away from our video today, that's something I would take away.
I think that pretty much sums it up. That like changes in mindset, the more you know, right? Whoever thinks that the way that they thought at 30 will be the same at 50, I think Muhammad Ali said this. They've wasted 20 years of their life. As you grow older, the more you learn, your views on life change. And that's a good thing. So Juneteenth is a good thing. It's a step in the right direction.
Like anything else we spoke about, people wanting to eat their deceased, but somewhere else it's different. Like different issues, but then like how would you take it? Changing your mindset.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to leave it off.
Yes.
Also the format, do you like longer style videos or are these cool? I mean, we kind of just like, it seems like forever, but, let us know how you like the formatting as well. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
This is Hamza.
Aruj signing off.
And see you guys later.
I hope you're not planning to waste my time.